for this program that we've gone to search the sea bass, what is commonly known as the robalo. We've gone to this area, Ocean Village Marina, which we believe is a nice place where the sea bass are hopefully in large numbers. I don't believe a lot of people target this area. I don't think a lot of people go to this area to fish. But I do know from past experience, I've been with my brothers and we have seen quite a big specimen of robalo, and I do know of some people who have fished around that area and have caught quite a lot of decent robalo. So we're gonna go to that place, which is a beautiful scenery. It's just beside the Sanborn Hotel, and we're gonna see whether we can catch a nice robalo from the program. We're gonna use two different methods to target the robalo. Basically, spinning method. You need a short rod, 2 meters 10, 2 meters 40, more or less, quite light, sensible, and then you need a small reel, 3,000–4,000 reel. We use what we call a trenzado, which is braid on the reel, and that we hook it onto a piece, reckon about una brasa of a fluorocarbon, so the fish won't be able to see the braid, they can only see the fluorocarbon. That will make the fish bite, and that goes, you normally use plastic or rubber or hard plastic lure, and basically it's all the time casting. You cast and you retrieve until you actually get a bite of a robalo.
60, 80 grams. I know, ¿sabes?
Así va el trade. Y ahí va arriba. Another preferred method is fishing with live bait, which normally we know it as la pesca del buzón or del vivo. Basically, you get a rod, a big lead, and you cast as hard as you can. You cast the lead, you reel in, you place your rod up, and then you tie with a swivel. You snap onto the main line of the reel. You snap a trace with a jigger, and there will be your live fish on the end of the trace on a treble hook. Normally you hook the treble hook, you put it on the back of the fish, so the fish continues swimming alive. And we're going to use a method with a float, which will leave the fish all the time on the top, and we're going to be fishing top and medium water. Today we're going to start looking for the lubina. Some people call it robalo. We call it robalo here in Gibraltar, which is the bass. We'll try to catch one, measure it, weigh it, we'll tag it, and then we'll release it alive. As this year we want to show basically what we are trying to show everyone, to practice catch and release on as many fish as they can.
We just arrived to this actually quite decent spot. I've been fishing a couple of times, and to be honest, it's been very positive. I've caught decent sea bass, actually a couple weighing over 5 kilos. And you know, I mean, I've come here with my brothers to see if we are lucky. And basically, you know, it's a spot where usually isn't fished, you know. I mean, it is inside the marina, and you know what people think about the waters here, which not contaminated, but you know, all the diesel and petrol from the boats, you know. So basically, it's not where you want to come to eat a fish. So obviously, all the fishes that we catch will be catch and release, yeah, which is obviously what we like. We like to do that anyways, yeah. It's very important. And basically, yeah, we're here waiting for the sun to set a bit down and get a bit more dark, and we'll go and try our luck. You know, we've already caught a couple of live baits, and well, we'll see how we go. You know. Now you put it on the end of the line and it acts like, more similar to a zip line.
A ver, listo.
Sí, vámonos. Basically slowly letting the fish obviously go out. The good thing about this method is that you actually control where your fish is. Obviously it can only go up or down, but obviously it can't go to the sides. And I do really like this method because I can't obviously have the fish always out, which is where I want it to be, but obviously if it's very close to the pontoons, I can actually see it because of the float, so I will reel it all in and cast it out again, But looking at it now, it's going out, it's going exactly where we want it, and hopefully we'll have a fish caught very soon.
For today, the setup we're going to use is on the rod, the main line. I'm using quite a thick line, which is a 0.40. That goes onto a big swivel rolling, and then what we have basically is a thinner line, which is a 0.30 down to the weight. The idea behind this is that the lead will be on the bottom, then the trace which will have the bait is made up of a swivel onto a float with a luminous stick. Okay, then we have a long trace with fluorocarbon line down to a treble hook. The treble hook will be onto the live bait. We cast the rod with the main line, we cast it. Once the rod is cast out, then with this swivel we hook the swivel onto the main line. The fish will slowly go down as much as it can on the main line. When we hook a fish, the swivel will go down to the swivel, so you can bring it up, and if the lead is caught or tangled in the bottom, this thin line will break, will snap off, the lead will stay at the bottom, and you will still be able to retrieve the fish as you have your big swivel, and this small swivel will just stay here. With a thick line, you will still be able to reel in the fish without any problems. This fish normally ranges between a kilo, you can catch 2-3 kilo, but they can grow up to about 7, 8, I reckon about 9-10 kilo fish. It hasn't got any molars or sort of a tooth to actually crush the food like a dorada, gilted bream. That's why we use this technique. It's the treble hook on top of the live boga or besugo. The robalo will come, swallow the whole fish and get hooked onto the actual treble hook.
Corriendo para la botella colorada. La tuya es perfecta, Cristian. La tuya está aquí, donde siempre me han dado todos los robalos.
Y yo la mía la he perdido. Ah, sí, la de Christian la veo, la tuya la veo, la mía la he perdido. You have to think like a fish. The fish swim past the same place, they eat on the same place, and you have to try and think what the bottom is, what there is in the bottom, and where they are. So you have to try and find them. You cannot just cast anywhere. It's different species eat on different places. Gilted bream, you want to cast somewhere where there's mussels, there's a rope with some mussels, the gilted bream will be eating around that. So basically the robalo, you want the legs of a pier or something like that, the fish will be hiding in between the legs of that pier. It will be basically the small fish will be hiding there. So the robalo will be looking out for that fish, so the robalo will be swimming all around the piers trying to look for the fish. If you just cast onto open water, yes, you can actually hook a robalo, but there's less chance of actually finding a fish. We already have the rods out fishing with the live bait, but obviously that could be there, could take 5 minutes for the bass to bite, it could take an hour, 2 or 3 hours, we don't know. So basically whilst we wait, we are doing this method of spinning, which is another method to catch bass, spinning. So basically just cast this out and slowly reel it in. This goes through the water, mimicking a live fish, and hopefully we can have a bass biting on it and we can show it on camera.
Y están las 3 cañas pescando perfecto, ¿eh?
Sí, están para afuera.